Hello everyone, you're tuned into Sports Federation TV once again. I'm Lenyukta Chetty and I'll be your host. Tonight we've got a fantastic lineup with 4 amazing sports joining us. But later on in the show, you're going to get a chance again to win that case of assorted bashoes, so stay tuned for that announcement. This week we've got karting, kite surfing, Chinese 8-ball and basketball joining us. First up, we've got 3 guests, all athletes in the sport of motorsport, specifically karting, joining us. Their names are Wesley Orr, Misha Williams, and Reese Cozen. Welcome.
Say hello.
Hi.
Hello Reese, hello Misha. Wesley, so you're involved with the sport and you were actually competing in it initially.
Well, yeah, I started at the age of they starting. I think it's like 7 or 8, maybe they're a little bit younger. And I had a good career. Went through the ranks. I did a bit of international stuff and won a few world championships. Fortunately, I went to the pinnacle of motorsport. Except actually, the pinnacle is Formula 1, so I didn't go to Formula 1. But I went to A1 GP, and at that point, got to a crossroad where I wanted to help the development of these kids. So that's where I am now.
Okay, so karting specifically, I mean, it's an amazing sport. We're going to have a look at some videos and photos later. Reese, how old are you?
7.
7 years old. And when did you start karting?
When I was 4 years old.
4 years old. How did you get involved in this sport?
My dad just made me go in sports and getting cool stuff and trophies. Yeah.
So your dad made you do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And you, Misha?
I started when I was 4.5. For my 5th birthday, I got a go-kart and I was very happy, and I started in cadet.
Can you tell us a little bit about the categories that the two of them compete in?
Well, they in the very, very junior formulas. There's a cadet class, which is, I think it's 4 to 7. He's still competing in that. And then there's a new class called Micromax, which he competes in. Actually, both of them are competing in that formula. It's the entry level of karting. It's for the kids like them. But I mean, the karts go over 100 k's an hour, so it's pretty quick and competitive.
I mean, just to put into perspective for our viewers at home, let's have a look at some of those photos of exactly what the sport is. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. That's like a miniature Formula 1 car. Hey.
That's actually the cadet class. That's Reese, number 55. It's Reese's kart, that, yeah. Oh, this is hectic.
Yes, Reese?
Yeah. I said to my dad, I want to do go-karts, and he gave me a go-kart for my. He just gave it to me. He bought one for me, and yeah, I was so happy. I gave my dad a hug.
Sure, that's a hug is a good exchange for a go-kart. Hey. All right, and is that also from the academy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a Max Arena class. That's aged from 7 to 10. But yeah, there's a few classes for them in age categories. But those things are doing 97 k's an hour. That particular class, yeah. That's a cadet that does about 60.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your own history in the sport.
Well, I mean, I started young, as I said earlier, and I've had a good innings. I'm very much involved in the development of sport now, but I had a successful career, if you call it that, and I got picked up by people with influence, and I became influential myself now later in my, well, not later, I'm not old, but in the sport I'm old. And so I've raced, won, and now I'm trying to get my drivers to win. That's in my academy.
All right, and so currently your role is more as a mentor.
Oh yes, driver management, coach, mentor. I try and look after the mental side, because these kids take strain. It's difficult mentally to be under the pressure from the parents, because the parents all think their sons are Formula 1 drivers or daughters. So I try and control that. But we have super talent in South Africa, and that I can tell you. Yeah.
Reese, what is the funnest thing about this sport for you?
The sport is going about fast and getting cool trophies, and that's all.
You like to go fast?
Yeah.
Ah, lovely.
And beating everybody watching cadets.
And you, Misha?
Well, the thing that I think is fun about racing is that it's not always about like if you win. It's about having fun, and once you've gotten taken out and you take other people out, you realize that was a bad thing to do, and you mend your mistakes, and it's just so fun because you learn so much more, and you learn about good sportsmanship and what's bad and what's good.
And you get to drive at your young age. You get to drive. How often do you have to practice? Because I can see you're quite serious about your sport. How often do you practice?
I practice almost every Saturday, but sometimes on the Fridays, like when there's public holidays and that, but on mostly Fridays and Saturdays, because like on official practice we go on Fridays before the race.
And you, Reese?
Yeah, also Saturdays riding.
And in the week?
And in the week.
Okay. Wesley, tell us a little bit about how the sport is actually administered in the Western Cape.
Well, the Western Province Motor Club runs this kart in Killarney. Killarney is the hub of motorsport in Cape Town.
Right.
So it all starts there. Then they've got the go-kart track in the middle of the main circuit. And then there's Motorsport South Africa holds obviously the body of the actual karting and all of that. And then we have South African Kart Racing Academy, which does the development for the up-and-coming kids. There is different teams, but our team is obviously the most well-structured and most influential in the sport.
And with the children and adults alike that compete in the sport, what is the highest level that they can compete in?
Well, karting is a feeder series to Formula One. It always has been. So if you want to go to Formula One, you have to start in karts. So these kids, one of them is going to make it to Formula One. It's just a fact, and we just got to keep watching. But
she's not.
I'm not going to go to Formula One. I don't want to. I want to go to NASCAR.
Yeah, she can't
That's where I
even.
got my number. That's where I got my number from. Is Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR.
That is amazing.
well, you can hear they're enthusiastic.
Yes,
so.
I don't think you actually know how cool you are, the both
One
of
day
you.
I'm going to be better.
You're going to be better. As long as you're better than her, you're okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So what's the big competitions that are coming up now?
We've got the South African Championship coming up in Idubi, which is Durban, in 2 weeks' time. He'll be doing it. I'm not sure if Misha will be doing it. But
I don't know if my dad will say yes. Or I don't know if I want to go.
But I'm definitely going because going on a flight, if riding that way around, it's like for a day to ride there.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my friend, we were flying.
Joaquin.
Yeah, and my dad and my friend's dad, they were riding to
driving the car.
to Schwarzkopf.
So if there's other children watching and they want to also take part in this sport, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, tell your dad, go just ride a car and be just like Vettel.
Great advice. And you?
I would say because like whenever people come, then like girls and boys are like, oh, I want to try, but then their dads are like, no, I'm not getting into that expensive sport, and then
Okay, well that answers the question.
The people that say yes, the parents that say yes, like the advice we normally give them is just, it doesn't matter where you come, it's just if you had fun.
Well, we've got some great footage of Reese riding in action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at that now. Absolutely awesome.
Wow.
Absolutely awesome. You guys have great lives. How can people who want to participate in the sport or get their kids involved, how can they get in touch with your federation?
Well, just Google South African Kart Racing Academy or come down to Killarney. We've got a big building there. They can ask for Wesley and I'll help them anytime.
Great. Reese, we're
Yeah?
going to see you in Formula One in a couple of years' time. And you, Misha, NASCAR. Hey,
Yeah,
all the
NASCAR.
way. All right. Thank you.
My
Yes?
dad said I look a lot like Danica Patrick, but I don't know about that.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you here, and I hope you come back next time in full gear with your trophies and you can show the whole world.
Yeah, when I'm coming next year, then I'm going to show my big trophy, what's my best, and a gold one.
Excellent.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Wesley. Well, that's all we have time for from motorsport and karting specifically. After the break, we'll be talking basketball, so don't go anywhere.